won't stop till I reach Christ conscious. Nigga, 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 dum 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 dum. Yeah, dum dum dum. Yeah, dum dum dum. Which one of y'all niggas really wonder with me? None of y'all niggas. Fuck outta here. Beast Coast, nigga. Forever in your area. This a motherfucking nuke that I'm dropping the water in my pocket.
Welcome to Under the Influence Cocktails and Consciousness. This is a critical thinking platform where we talk about issues that are important to the black millennial and then some issues that aren't so important. As we know, sometimes these issues are tough, so we handle them with a cocktail. Welcome, it's your host, Quran Free, Caleb Quran Free, out of this piece, and joining me, her, the one and only, Ivory.
Hello.
All right, so I got my snack, got my Chex snack right here, and we finna go in on this little topic. All right, so we were thinking, we got Beyonce coming out in Formation, and that was big with Super Bowl, and that was actually dope, because recently Farrakhan came out and he addressed some things as far as New York City cops and also Florida cops not wanting to protect the Queen Bee. And he said it's alright because the FOI don't have a problem, which is the fruits of Islam, to have a problem protecting them. So that was great. But part two is, we have Kendrick Lamar, who had this, performance at the Grammys, and it was very earth-shattering and eye-opening, and of course, white guilt evoking, and it did all these things,
Yes, very powerful.
right? And so I don't know, for some reason, I don't know, I listen to a lot of music, and I it's recurrently, some of the new music I get into with certain artists, but a lot of my stuff is from, what I remember back in the day when I was ironing my school clothes in the morning, and I was taking a shower to go to school in the morning. You have that type of feeling, and you want to go back to those songs sometimes. So I listen to Lil Jigga and stuff like that, but also I listen to Lupe Fiasco. Lupe the killer. All right, if you don't remember Lupe Fiasco, he's the king of the kick push, food and liquor. He had a couple songs with Kanye. Let me testify. He would come up in the hood, look extra fly. You know what I mean? That was his shit. And Lupe,
Bad B.
that was his shit. You know what I mean? But that was more of a, that was one of those cuts where, Lupe don't get respect for them cuts, man. That was so dope, man. But yeah, so we were talking about it, because Kendrick, is and the thing also what happened recently is that Kendrick and J. Cole were nominated, for albums of the year. Of course, among all the other music that's popular among black folks, of course, because we talk about black millennials, right? So like with Future and Young Thugger and
Young Thugger.
Young Thug.
Young Thug.
I always say Young Thug because it's something about, I don't know, the Young Thugger motherfucker, he be doing that shit.
Oh, he do? Oh.
And Rich Homie and all the drill music and all that shit, what I mean? None of that shit was nominated. So, it wasn't, the crazy part about it, we had to stop and look back. It's like, they making all this music, you would think they're doing it for money, they talk about drugs and guns and, really going hard on the ladies. And you would think that they're doing it for some type of profit. But the crazy part is that the conscious music is really what's taking over. Those two albums and, of course, these two performances that have rocked the nation. So, slowly but surely, I feel like we're going into a revolution mode. And, I think it's, it's another show. Fuck that. Because because it's really like, you think something is supposed to look one way. Like it's supposed to look like, it's really going down. We are in the midst of the shit right now.
Yeah.
It's like,
so are you saying that the revolution is happening now? Like people are always like, you're ready for the revolution, or like it's, the revolution will not be televised, but Are you saying that the revolution is actually happening?
I think it's happening right now.
In what the form of like the performances that have happened lately, and like the Black Lives Matter movement, and
platforms that are mainstream have shown this type of have shined this light upon black people. You know how they, you show us laughing and dancing and shit. Like, okay, it's all good in America and shit. But if everything is rebellious, everything is like, nigga, look at us now. No, it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is really going on there?
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's actually how the civil rights movement had a bigger impact. It wasn't because these people were nonviolent. It was because it was televised that police were brutally dragging and beating, and dogs were like, gnawing at human beings for simply wanting the right to exist in equal spaces. And so the rest of America was like, whoa, was this really happening? And that's how they were able to make more of an effect on society. So, I definitely agree that like it's occasionally too, like when people say revolution will not be televised, or because basically to me that means that it's not something that's supposed to be seen or heard. It's supposed to be something you're supposed to be planning behind closed doors, and it's supposed to be something that like should be done so that the enemy or whomever you're trying to combat won't know what it is, won't know your plan, right? But in the age of social media, in the age of like where pop culture things change so instantly, this is the time to televise what is going on in the world. Like, we wouldn't have never known about Sandra Bland, Mike Brown, all of these killings if it wasn't for the video and the social media. So, yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that.
I definitely. You gotta do a show on that in itself. But right now, we're talking about my man Lupe and Kendrick Lamar. So, that's what I assume. Maybe because I'm from Chicago, maybe because I'm a fan or whatever, but I think Lupe Fiasco is the prototype for Kendrick Lamar. Because Lupe Fiasco was talking about some deep, deep shit a long time ago. But I feel like it's so deep that you gotta listen to it so many times that, to understand it. So people are like, oh shit. And it's not made to be catchy at all. I think it comes right from Lupe and exactly how you feel. I mean, he had a couple hit songs and stuff like that, but I mean, for the bulk of it, Lupe is talking about a lot of shit that people are like, "Oh, we don't want to talk about that, Lupe, not right now."
I don't agree. I think that people are always ready and willing to hear and to talk about those things, but you have to do it in a format that is going to engage them and it's going to catch their attention. And so, I think that while Lupe is like lyrically like great and he always has a message that is very, very important, I also think that he does it in a way that is boring. Like, his production is very bland and very boring, and his flow, it never changes, it's the same. Whereas Kendrick, he also is equally in some cases oftentimes better lyrically, but then he also has like really great production, and he also has like really unique different types of rap styles and flows that he changes up. Not only that, he doesn't just create an album, he creates like a storyline in each. He only has 2 albums out, but even in his mixtapes, they've been storylines with like he has like interludes, and he makes sure that like from the first song to the last song that there's a message, and that you're riding along with him on like this story. And so it's more than just a song. I feel like Lupe is like a poet, but he's a poet that puts his poems to like beats. But I feel like outside of that, he doesn't give himself a lot of like room for any other artistic like expression.
Yeah. Lupe actually had an interludes too. He has an interludes in his songs, in his albums. That's another thing that made me kind of compare. Something like the Kendrick really get maybe some inspiration from Lupe to do this. And Lupe actually, the thing about it is, well, Kendrick Kendrick never does shit publicly. He I think Kendrick literally kind of lets his music do it.
Right. That's the
Cause
best
he
type of
never ever
artist.
says like he never has an interview where it was like very provocative and nothing like that. But Lupe, on the other hand, he goes overboard a little bit
Right.
maybe in his
I
interviews.
agree. But that's why I say I feel like he's a poet because he is more. He's probably more compelling outside of music than he is in his music, and he has like more like he has the ability to like articulate what he means through words like in a person to person than like a person like Kendrick who like a lot of artists who are real true artists who only are able to express themselves through their art. Like they're not personable people. They're not people who like are social or good with like social like interactions. Like they know how to express themselves better artistically. That's most artists, most really really good artists are like that. So I mean, like Beyonce. Not going. I mean, I know we talking about these two, but like that's kind of like where the similarity is. Like,
Yeah. But Lupe, man, you know, in conclusion, Lupe, I fuck with Lupe, man. Lupe,
yeah, he's dope.
I just wonder why he won't get on a track with Kendrick. You know, I want to see Kendrick work with Lupe. I want to see Lupe work with Wale. I really want to see Kendrick work with Wale. I like to see J. Cole work with Wale more. You know, I like to see J. Cole work with Lupe. You know, these artists, you know, I feel like hip hop has a swing of music. You know, it swung down south and it swings up north. I mean, it swings out east and it swings out west and it, you know, and it swings around a certain production, a certain beat or a certain message. I mean, you know, like Chuck D back in the day with Public Enemy and everything and KRS-One and well, some of the other good, I don't want to, you know, like I mentioned, leaving out guys, but a lot of
Yeah.
those good, conscious artists. And I'm leaving out a young fella, Joey Badass. You know, I would like to see all the people work together too. You know, to really push this music. I mean, because this is the time right now. I mean, Beyonce might even get on your chorus or do us duet us. Like she might do that shit around a black issue. And when that shit start happening, because he's already came out as black.
She's being
SNL,
that
SNL had that skit shit. That shit was fucking hilarious. Like when she came out and you know
she
everybody's
didn't.
like,
She's always been.
wait, what? You know, why he was like, Beyonce's black, Beyonce's black because they like, yo,
Yeah.
you know, it really is going down like that now. You know, so and I'm glad. I hope Beyonce pushes other black women artists to do the same to be relevant. You know, make it by having a man and by having a woman in this space doing this shit is making it cool for this to be the case. You know, now of course
Yeah.
Ivory's probably gonna be upset. We might end up getting a lot more hotel motherfuckers out of this whole thing and everything. But I always tell Ivory and I always say this to everybody, like at least it's halfway. If we can get everybody at the halfway fucking point where they have followed some shit like that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of them people are like, man, fuck that shit right now. Like, you know, fuck all that goofy shit. But if the swing is like that and they have no choice because they the sheep anyway.
What do you mean?
'Cause, you know, some people are really like, they just can't get consciousness. They can't get it. It's like, oh man, why we good, man? They just can't get it
Mm-hmm.
because they interest is not there. The
Mm-hmm.
shit that they, you know, everybody we assume that a lot of times that what like we talked about earlier, what's on our Facebook feed is on everybody's Facebook feed.
Mm-hmm.
Your Facebook feed is according to your friends, according to your interests, according to shit you fuck with. You know what I mean? And a lot of our shit, you know what I mean, and probably yours too. If you listen to this, it comes up as maybe you know socially aware shit and shit that needs to be known, news, you know, pieces, you know, written pieces that are actually informative about
Think
something.
pieces.
Yeah, think pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But some people shit come up the top 10 Jordans coming out.
Right. I get that.
Every fucking the next game, 2K review.
But right.
You know?
Why did you say I might get mad about the hotel part?
Because you know, it's gonna be some you don't like hotel motherfuckers.
Right.
You
But
don't
how
like
do they relate
because
to?
there's gonna be a lot of them. I feel like you know, if the I feel like because right now the consciousness is rising. I feel
Mhm.
like, everybody's consciousness is rising up a notch. So if everybody's consciousness rises up a notch,
Okay,
you
you
know
feel
what I
like it's
mean?
gonna be
Yeah, because
like,
it's like a pyramid. The
yeah.
top is always skinny and the bottom is real fat. So if everybody's consciousness goes up, we're gonna have the people who was literally like, nah, Jordan's that nigga, to like, we not fucking with him.
Mm,
What the dashikis at? The niggas gonna be like matching them, talking about, and then the knowledge is gonna be cool. It's gonna be
yeah.
stupid. It's gonna sound like the nigga Damon Wayans.
Right. That's why it's important to continue being on your growth, like
Yeah.
your constant evolution. Because if you think because you listen to a couple songs and
Oh
you order
yeah.
you a dashiki that you automatically become aware and a critical thinker in the world, it's not true. You have to be ongoing, in life seeking knowledge. And I mean, the best knowledge is to read for yourself. Not now. Facebook and social media, Twitter, to get information is great for a start. But like, don't just read headlines. Don't just read like 11 word like status and think that that's where you like click on those links and then find websites and sources that are a little bit more credible, like and gain your knowledge from areas that are have real like history behind it, not like you've heard it through this is a 10th person who given like spread this word. Like, go to the source. Always go to the source to gain information. But anyway, it's a whole nother topic. But
We're going through a lot of time. I'm gonna have to change the name of the show because
I
it's
know,
really a good
right?
show. But we started off talking about Lupe and Kendrick, but it's like
Yeah.
really a stretch because there's so much going on right now, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a good time to be alive, Drake.
Good time to be alive.
Man, just think about it.
Drake and the Future. Don't forget he made that song too.
Future. Man, fuck that. Future. He fuck all that, man. Shout out to Scorpios though, my man Future. What's up?
Right?
Scorpio knows. Let's get it.
Oh God, I was just thinking about that earlier. Like, I'm like, Scorpios do not have the second nose.
Scorpios have a defined nose. If you see a Scorpio, if you see a person like a defined nose.
The thing I've heard is the eyes. Scorpios have
Eyes
like
too,
their
yeah.
eyes are intense, or their eyes are passionate or mysterious. Like that's but like anything else, I don't know.
I wanted Shock G. I wanted the nigga from Digital Underground. I wonder if he was Scorpio.
We should do a show on horoscopes though, because I don't even know if our
I
audience
do a
know
lot of
that
that
we are
shit.
both Scorpios.
Yeah, I do that shit.
But then also like just kind of like the history behind it and what it really means and all of that stuff. Like Mercury being in retrograde, which is something I just learned about recently, and so yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, man. We gonna do that. We gonna do some more shows and shit. Fuck it. But we gonna go ahead and log off this show because y'all probably trying to just like nigga they ain't talking about Lupe.
We can name it like Wale's album More About Nothing.
More about nothing. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? And just include all this stuff that's in like the topics, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out, guys. But until next time, do not forget to like this video. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share it. Spread the word. And like always, don't forget to subscribe to Under the Influence, Cocktails, and Consciousness. We are out.